Have you ever been to a supermarket or a hypermarket or any given mall and you're in the section where they're selling vegetables and what have you? And then you see these wealthy people with a very big cart and they're putting their sukuma wiki there, their green vegetables, their sweet potatoes and what have you. And you're asking yourself, why would these guys choose to buy from this place? And obviously, the price that is being presented here is way high compared to them going to a market, any given market where their hawkers are full of the place and they can actually get this product at a quite a low price. Has that thing ever disturbed you and ask yourself, okay, why exactly are they doing exactly this? Because if it was me, I know what to grab from the supermarket or from a mall, and I know what to grab from the market. But these guys, they're actually getting everything under one roof. And let's say you're a business person and you're asking yourself, why these heavy cars don't even actually, pull over or mini park near my place and come and buy from my places and all those kind of things. Why do they go and support the other fella, rich peoples and wealthy and all those kind of things? Yeah, I know there's a question that always, linger in your mind and you ask yourself, what could be the reason behind this? And guess what? This is a part 2 of the video that I made previously to explain this point. Now, I'm going to tailor this down to why they don't buy to your business and explain to why they actually buy all those things from a supermarket. And this is what I'm going to give you. There's something called the psychology of buying as well as the psychology of selling, as should I call it. The point is this. You find these guys, number one, let's take an example of what happens in any given typical market out there where these vegetables, where you believe this guy ought to have bought them from. The point is this. There is something called profiling. Whenever you go to these places where they buy this or they sell these things from the hawker's place, they usually do what we call the profiling. Have you ever shown an interest of buying something from a hawker? And it's you who have called them and say, hey, how much are you selling this? They give you an outrageous amount of money. Number one, what have made them give you that outrageous amount of money? It is because the way you dressed, they judge you based on how you look. All right. And number two, they actually believe you've actually called them because you actually in need. It is true you are in need, then they leverage on that need that you have to actually give you an outrageous amount of money. And guess what? I was once tried to go somewhere to buy a very simple thing like a t-shirt. And then once you show the interest, they give you a price that is way quite outrageous. And if you manage to buy that specific t-shirt, you leave the place and you leave them laughing. They say, today has been my day. I've actually killed the day and I've actually made this amount of money. What they do not know is that they're actually burying themselves into a sand, or they're actually digging a ditch for themselves. It is true today you've made that good money, but how about the reputation? Because they tell you, hey, in this town, lazima ukuwe mjanja and surviving and all those kind of things. And let me tell you one thing, if there's something called reputation in any given business, it's actually what makes you draw more customers. And I always explain this point. There's something called the before sale services. This is actually explaining to a client or a customer why they should buy from your place. And once they buy, there's something called the after sale services. It's giving reasons to a customer why they should come back, and not only alone, but with somebody else. You're actually transforming your clients or customers to become the ambassadors of your business. Now, let me explain to why these rich people and wealth usually buy everything from the supermarket. This is the reason number one. These guys do so because at that particular place, everything is actually priced. All right, everything price is actually pinned for everyone to actually see it. So whether you have it or you do not have it, whether you are rich, middle, or whatever you are, that is the price, and it's priced for everyone. Once you pull up, have you ever tried to pull up with your car just at the sideline to buy things from a market? And the moment they see you pulling a car, they give you a outrageous amount of money. Something worth like 300, they tell you 700. Just because they have profiled you because you're driving. They do not even know whether you have lent that car. They do not even know whether that's what we call the car for hire. They do not even know. Maybe they have seen you on a suit. Maybe you are on an interview. Maybe you do not even have a job. It's the only suit that you have. You are on an interview and then you are showing up on a suit. And then they sell you at an outrageous amount of money just because they profile you based on that. But when it comes to a supermarket, there is nothing like profiling. The price is there for everyone to actually go about it. It's you to measure yourself and actually weigh yourself. Like, will I be able to meet that price? If not, you leave and vacate the place. If you can, then you buy it. So they feel comfortable. They would rather buy those sukuma wiki and vegetables from a given supermarket. Not because they actually offer the fresh. By the way, if you ask me, I don't believe those guys sell actually the topmost fresh vegetables. I believe markets do, because these guys get these products from the markets. It's the same farmer who supplied them to the supermarket, and the same farmer who is actually selling them directly in a any given market. So the point is it's all about psychology. It's all about what we call, that ability to actually know. You aren't supposed to profile your customers, but what you're supposed to do is actually understand, this is the amount of money that I'm selling. Even if you want a little bit of it, just add what we call, create that what we call the negotiation allowance. But what do I mean? Let's say you're selling like this t-shirt, maybe 500 Kenyan shillings. If you say it is 600 Kenyan shillings, all right, or 550, at that particular point, we can say you're trying to do that because you're creating what we call the negotiation allowance. So you can say, hey, no, I do not have the 600, but I have like 500, or rather, I have like 550 or something of sort. So at least all of you come to a point whereby you can agree, hey, I won't buy for this amount of money because I arguably do not have it, but I have this. At that particular point, you reach to a platform whereby this customer or client knows very well this t-shirt costs 500, but you are on 600. Probably you're trying to make the 100 bob on top. Maybe this is not your business. Maybe you're a hawker or a broker or something of sort. At that particular situation, you can actually go ahead. Sometimes I usually buy things and you realize this person actually called you from all the way far. They're trying to look for that 50 shillings. You're gonna give it, freely, just like you would have given it somewhere else. That's the point. But now you know very well this t-shirt cost 500. Somebody says it's 900. Honestly speaking, even if you're hustling, I don't think that is that way. I don't think that is actually an appropriate and right price. And let me tell you one thing, those business people who are watching this video, it is good to be very careful whenever you are dealing with people. Otherwise, you can get yourself in a situation whereby you always new or have new customers. You never retain old customers. You never actually go ahead and transform your customers to the ambassador to become the ambassadors of your business. Always be keen. Make sure you incorporate all the services so that at least you can do the best when it comes to progress in your business. And you know what, guys? I always tell people this. Psychology when it comes to selling, psychology when it comes to making money, it's actually one of the most important thing whenever you're dealing with business out there. Now, the other thing that I can explain to you, the reason as to why these guys usually buy from this place, it is because obviously for an obvious reason. Of course, I don't think it's the most, what should I call it? I don't think it's the really thing that they usually buy this from the supermarket. They do so because obviously they can get everything from a single place. They can get everything from, let's say, stretching all the way from clothing to furnitures to electronics to vegetables to what have you. So they can just get the to pastry base and all those kind of reasons. That should be the case. But let me tell you one secret. I once interacted with one of the wealthy guys and one of the wealthy guy and asked them, hey, why are you doing this? Like, why wouldn't you go to a market and buy these things instead of you grabbing them from? And they told me, yeah, I can. There's no problem with that. And I can actually go and support these guys. But the problem with this guy, they will lie to you. They will tell you, hey, this is the right price. This is blah, blah, blah. And by the time you realize, they have actually conned you and you've lost all your money. Because maybe they have seen you, pulling over your car. They have seen you maybe on a suit and all those kind of things. So these are the tricks, or these are the points that I would like you to take out of this video if you're operating a business. All right. Number one, stop profiling your customers. Don't judge your customers, based on how they look, and then you tend to presume these guys, they have a lot of money, to buy this thing and all those kind of things. And let me tell you one secret. There was a time I was just like guys, I told you I used to do the interior design and what have you. There was a time I had a client and I charged them, I think it was around 35,000, and they told me, hey, I cannot be able to pay you that unless you make it, let's say, around 25,000. And I said, no, it can't work. Then, and arguably, this guy was very wealthy, and I made the most stupid statement ever, and actually regret saying that. And you know what I told him? I said, but you see, God has blessed you. You have money. You can even pay me that fine. And guess what? That thing was very hostile to him. He told me, let me tell you one thing, my young man. That is not how we do businesses. There is a difference between me feeling pity upon you and there's a reality of how much I would like to spend, in this specific place. And that thing really hit differently. Honestly, I lost the offer. I did not get the job and he told me before I left, he told me, thou shalt never, ever, ever, ever in your life make that statement. It is true, I may have more than you do, but the point is this, you would rather charge me that amount of money that you know is appropriate for this job, and I can actually add on top of that, even double of that you've charged me at my own consent. But you pulling me to a point whereby just because you believe or think I have, then by default I should give you, that's not the case. And that is the mentality that is with young people. For example, you approach somebody, when I was trying to grow this channel, you approach somebody. Well, I never approached, but again, you approach somebody and tell them, hey, why don't you give me a shout out from your channel? It doesn't cost you anything. It's just saying, hey, subscribe to this channel. You see, you're coming with an entitlement. You're coming with a simplicity mindset, like it's just a shout out. And I have a friend of mine who does forex, and one day he was approached to teach forex trading, and that person told him, but you're just making profit, just you teaching me how to make money, and it's as simple as that. And that guy was so bitter. You can imagine how much that guy has been losing in that specific forex trading for him to be where he is, to acquire the skills, because it cost him money. And then somebody is approaching them and telling them that just teach me for free because it does not cost you anything. That is an ignoratic way of view of things. And again, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to say, hey, I understand. Right now, I do not have money, but guess what? I really know it cost you money to be where you are, understanding, create this thing. But I can assure you this. Right now, I do not something that I can give in return, of which I would love to. But if you can do something, handhold me here on this, on this, on this, I assure you, I can revert. At that particular point, you've appreciated the individual. Number one, you've actually shown that you have that understanding deep inside of you. It costs this or the other. And then at particular point, then that individual whom you're willing, or rather you want them to help you, they can actually consider your offer. That is exactly how you're supposed to approach life. So anyway, the point is this, the parting shot is this: at all the time and every time, make sure that whenever you see an individual, be it either they are low, high, medium, or whatever they are, shows up to your business, always incorporate what we call the understanding of the highest order. Give them that price that you know is well within an arguable range. Don't give them an outrageous range. Otherwise, if you do so, you're going to kill your business slowly, slowly, slowly. And then you'll be cursing the economy, saying, hey, rich people cannot buy from this place, rich people cannot. Okay, fine. I know there is a touch of luxury. Obviously, there is a touch of luxury, which we cannot ignore that part. Also, that explains why they usually get that from there. But I do not know when it comes to vegetables, where is the luxury. But anyway, the point is this: make sure that at least you incorporate the highest understanding. Make sure that you actually accommodate all these individuals and the way they view things. Otherwise, if you do not, then you're going to get yourself into problems. Anyway, guys, guess what? You can grab my number from the description of this specific video. Give me a call or a text. I offer services pertaining to business guidance, consultations, and what have you for just a cup of coffee. Option 2, you can grab the same number, give me a call or text on WhatsApp. I have booklets on investments, about business plans, a lot of businesses, like hardware, salon, cosmetics, Nini, all those businesses. I actually have them ready for you. A copy is only 280 Kenyan shillings. I have other booklets about investments like treasury bills, bonds, money market funds, shares, and what have you. A copy is still 280 Kenyan shillings. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one.